And John Ackerman joins us now from Mexico City. He's a professor at the National Autonomous University of Mexico. So, Professor, then these local elections are supposed to confirm perhaps the PRI's return to national prominence, having been turfed out 12 years ago because partly of their corruption and their control over Mexican politics. Have they changed, though?
Well, it doesn't really look like it. If you look at these campaigns in these three states, the PRI is pretty much working the same way it has been for the last 70, 80 years. The thing is that they're optimistic because of the incredible failure of Calderon, the present PAN government, to actually convince the population that they should continue to rule after next year. The incredible amount of deaths in the drug war, the increase in poverty, economic development has been problematic. All of these things have set the stage for the PRI to try to take back power. This is the old authoritarian party, and this election tomorrow, specifically the one in Mexico State, is very strategic because this is the bastion of the power of the old guard PRI party. The question here will be whether the right and the left will be able to actually get anywhere close to the PRI vote tomorrow. The most likely thing is that the ruling party, the PAN, will come in a far third place. The candidate is actually a pretty important candidate. He was one of the closest assistants to President Calderon during many years. He was the ambassador to the Vatican from Mexico, but he might poll at about 10–15% tomorrow. And the left-wing party is the one that might actually come close to the PRI tomorrow.
But do the parties actually differ fundamentally on policy?
Yes, it looks like it. The PRI is really the old guard party of much of the same. I think the report by Frank Contreras was very eloquent in terms of the fact that the campaign is very much about sort of clientelistic relationships. The leftist party, the PRD, is proposing to put more issues of social justice and equality onto the agenda, and the right-wing party, the PAN, has been talking a lot more about the church and about continuing the federal policies and bringing those down to the local level. The left party is an interesting candidate. He was previously the mayor of Mexico City, which is the neighboring state to the state of Mexico, and he's promising, for instance, to bring the social programs that have been used in Mexico City to the state of Mexico. So I think there really is a debate here, and if the left or the right gain advantage over the PRI tomorrow, that would be a very serious boulder in their
very quickly.
Yes.
Professor, I mean, there's much talk now about grassroots movements developing because there's such disillusion with all the three parties, frankly. And we've seen, Sicilia, his march against the drug war and so on. Do these have any effect then in the political system right now?
Well, yes, there is a growing social movement in Mexico. This is very much the case, particularly about the issue of violence. The question is how this is going to have an impact on the federal elections next year. Cecilia himself has sort of called for null votes against the entire political class itself, while some other of Cecilia's supporters have been moving towards the left. So we'll have to see what the impact is of the social movement, whether it's against the entire political class itself or whether it's supporting the left, and whether that might have an impact in the president's elections next year.
We'll be watching. Professor, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Mexican authorities have confirmed that 9 more people have died during Tropical Storm Arlene and its aftermath, taking the overall death toll to 11. Officials said on Saturday